Welcome everyone to the third Fableborne Townhall. We're going to present quite a lot of progress today. But first of all, let's go over the speakers and then have a quick introduction. So I will be your host today. I will also cover the marketing side of the update. And Marintha, maybe you can do a quick introduction your end.
Sure, yeah. I'm Marintha the Box, and I'm the UI UX artist at Pixion, working on Fableborne. I've been with the studio just under 2 years. Yeah, that's me basically.
Nice. Martin, what up?
Nice.
What up?
What up, dude? What up? 2 years already, Marintha. Damn, time flies.
I know, right? What?
Yeah. So I'm Martin. I'm one of the dev guys of the team working on the client side. I've been on the project, I think, for like 3.5 years, something like that, which is also quite insane. Basically make sure that everything the designers and artists want in the game works and is playable in the game. That's pretty much what I do.
So does that mean we have no bugs at all?
Exactly. Bugs never happen, never.
Whoa, that's
it's your
great.
imagination.
Hi, I'm Christoph. I keep Martin and Marintha busy with the stupid design requests, and then have them run circles when I say, "Oh, we have to redo that," because my first idea wasn't great. I've been in the studio for a year now, I think, about a year, and yeah, still having fun, still being very motivated and passionate about the game. So let's talk more about Fableborne.
Nice. Then let's jump in right away. So the first thing we're going to talk about are the hero upgrades. Maybe you can talk about a little bit more.
Me? Yeah, sure. So yeah, don't look at very specific details that you see here. These are a bunch of things that I wrote down, and some of them have changed already. So the basic idea is that your hero, your character will get stronger over time, and they gain more abilities or different talents that modify abilities rather, but they will also gain straight up like power. So the more you play with the character or with your characters, the stronger they will get. So if you invest time, that kind of reflects in the character as well. There are a bunch of upgrades that are non-character specific. So something like attack damage, like every character will be attacking and dealing damage, is what I'm saying now. Maybe 2 years time, I'm saying something different. But currently, all the other plans that everybody can attack and everybody can, destroy defenses. Everybody will have health and things like that. These are like non-specific character upgrades that we already have implemented. We have some character-specific talents implemented. So if you upgrade your character, you will be able to pick a talent, and I think we will see a demo of that in this presentation as well. But there are a bunch of talents that you can choose from when upgrading your character that will make them better. And there's some talents, again, that will just make you more powerful, and other talents that will allow you to change the play style of the character. And these will be more rare, but also more impactful to, I guess, your gameplay. So it might be the difference of being able to freeze an enemy, or rather to set him on fire, or something very dramatically different. And you'd have to find a character upgrade and then play around that. Choose it if you want to. You always have the choice out of 3 character upgrades to choose from. And then it'll be a lot of fun to explore different builds with different characters. But yeah, I don't want to say too much because we'll see, I think, how it works in a couple of slides, if I recall correctly, right, Lucas?
Yeah, we can actually do that right away.
Oh, so yeah, let's go into that. Sure.
Nice. Oh, wait a second. That's the hero info screen. I think maybe let's start with that and then go over the talents after that. So we have it a little bit more coherent.
Do you want to take over, Martin?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it. One thing, so you know, Lucas, I think your internet is not great because the transitions are going a bit laggy. So once we play some videos, that might not look amazing.
Yeah, I will see if I can fix it in the meanwhile.
Okay, no worries. Cool, yeah, so this is tying a bit of what Christoph was saying before about hero upgrades and information. So we've improved the screen a bit. We've added pop-ups that add description and values to the stats that are changing, and we're giving designers the control so they can decide which are the stats that display on this pop-up. So I don't know, the basic attack, maybe like the cooldown, the attack speed, things like that. Same goes for the talents. You can now see what they do. If you tap them, you get more details, right? And I think for this screen, nothing else is new. I think that those are the two main things that have changed. If you want to add something, Christoph, you can want.
I'm good. Maybe Marinta wants to talk about the UI a bit, or is that upcoming?
The UI will probably be upcoming. I've touched it a little bit and made a few adjustments, but at the moment, it's more about seeing how this works from a UX perspective. Like, how easy is it to pick a talent? Does it make sense? Is it clear enough what the player is getting and what's getting increased? So all of the things that, Christoph, you wanted to show, it's like, does this setup give us good user experience? Does it give us that kind of usability that we're after? And then once we've answered that from testing, then I'll go in and start making the UI. But at the moment, it's good to be able to test.
Definitely. I think whenever we show something here, don't think this will all stay as is. We'll probably change a bunch of stuff once we figure out like how it's more user friendly, or
Yeah, UX UI is
nothing here set in stone. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Trends change. Each year there's a new, better UX, better UI. So
that is true.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like the game is still like in the alpha state, so we're approaching the alpha. So again, like just as a disclaimer, a lot of things will still change, and I think it's important for us to test a lot of those things as well and get feedback mostly from you guys, actually, from the community. And that's why we are planning playtests, and for those playtests we need feedback, and then based on your feedback, you will then see the changes that we're doing in the game. So very excited, but everything is pretty much work in progress. Even if it looks really nice, sometimes you find out something that doesn't work that great, even if it looks amazing, and then we still need to change it. But yeah, maybe next up we want to go over the hot swapping. I think we did some really cool changes there, and I think we do have a quick preview of the hot swapping already.
Yeah. I think the next slide is a video probably.
Yes, let me just adjust the quality.
Nice.
From auto, I'm sorry that it always plays in the auto quality. It's not that great.
Okay, it's quite laggy. It's like 1 frame per 3 seconds, but I think the UI is there, so we can speak about it a little bit. Basically, now you'll see all the roster of heroes you have in your quote-unquote inventory, and you can select between them while you're playing. Before, you had just like a button to swap to the next one, but you couldn't see like their level, their name, their health. Now you have access to all those things. Also, like a cooldown number. This is completely temporary. This is just programmer art. I think Marinta will showcase the more prettier version of it later. But yeah, I think we just finished that, so we're just testing it, seeing if it's intuitive enough, if we need more information or less information in those things. So yeah, just gave it to designers to see what they think and what the test results come back with.
I think it's really nice because it's made for mobile, right? So you can easily use it on mobile, and it's very easy to switch through. I think I think the first time you guys said you want to do a hot swapping for heroes, I was a little bit concerned about, okay, how will that look like in the game? Like, is there enough space on the screen to actually swap through it?
You were concerned. I was like,
I think that's a good segue. Maybe you can, Marinta, give us an overview about like the long journey that you took to make it actually work.
Yeah, sure.
Let me just go to the next slide.
I had similar feelings to Lucas as soon as hot swapping became a topic. I was just questioning, like, how do we make this work? How do we, where do we position this on a screen that At the moment, it's not super busy, but we know that in the future, when we add more features, it's going to be a heavy screen. It's also the screen where the most action is happening. And Fableborne's a pretty fast-paced game. So thinking about what can we create that allows the user to switch pretty quickly, knowing what they can switch to, knowing which hero is available, which hero is in cooldown mode, which hero is already selected, and also knowing how much health that hero has, which is probably one of the most important things. You want to be able to make kind of a tactical choice, saying like, oh, maybe Avi is better against this building, so I need to make sure that he has enough health for that. Then I kind of thought about, well, Christoph and I talked about possible ways that we can set this up. And at the moment, we've gone for the top right buttons, which is kind of the example at the bottom, the different states. But we also have an idea for a radial menu at some point, which kind of mimics the same controls as our ability icons at the moment. So usability, we want to test this and we want to see what makes sense, because it's kind of speed over something that's already matching game controls. So once we've got those test results in, then we can start to look at, do we just go with our 3-button layout at the top because maybe it works really, really well? Or do we want to go and push for this radial menu setup? I think there's some example videos at the next 2 slides to show how they would look, but
yeah, let's go over them. Let's see if the
see
stream
if they
can
work.
manage it.
I think what we can also do maybe is record some quick GIFs and post them like later on in the channel to to show off what we're showing off here, but less laggy, because it really looks more astonishing when you see it. Oh, this looks actually not bad.
Oh yeah, it worked.
I think we can only stream in 360 resolution.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks Discord.
Yeah, definitely have to get some GIFs over. Yeah, so that's basically the example of the radial menu, and then the next slide is the example of how the 3 buttons on the right would look.
Really nice though. I have to say though, like Avi is always that, like it's always like a little bit mean, but that's all right.
Favoritism. What is this?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's so kind of hard to see still, but we'll post some GIFs.
Yeah, for sure.
While we're talking about the dead RV, maybe we can just talk about the hero recovery and what it is and how we're implementing it right now.
Sure. Yeah. I can do that. Swap. You have a slide for that, right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So basically, in Fableborne, when your hero dies in combat, right, we will give it like a little bit time to rest up, which is our version of what we call in design a break system, because we don't want anybody to be able to just by themselves through the entire content, be done with the game, and not have any fun experience like the gameplay. So what we have to do is we have to slow down the progression artificially in order for players to get the pleasure of looking at hospitalized Avi and hospitalized Kiara, but then recovering them or using other heroes is probably the better way to go about it, right? We want you to play with everything that you have in your inventory. Ideally, that will provoke a lot of fresh meta gameplay as well. So you can't just play one character. I am sure that everybody will main a single character or main 2 characters, as you would know from other games. But there is definitely the incentive to go through different characters that you earn or find throughout your gameplay landscape, I suppose. And also use different talents, right? Not every Kiara will be the same, not every Avi will be the same, or future heroes. So there is a recovery system, so you'll either have to wait, I assume. So we are not 100%, not everything is 100% set in stone, but there will probably be a way to get around that with specific tokens that you can earn, probably not buy, but earn, and you will be able to recover your hero or just wait until they are recovered. It's kind of, if you know modern mobile games, it's an energy system, but turned on its head, so to speak. Again, the reason why we have it is because, for example, we don't have build time, so you can just buy a building and just build it. So where other games have a break, like Clash of Clans would have a break there and just make you wait for buildings. Our wait time, so to speak, is on the hero side. I think that's the basics of it, and there will be more to it, which we're working on. As there's a little glimpse of it where you can see that one hero is shattered. I'm sure we have not shared. I'm not sure if we have all shared about that or shared that detail about it yet. And I'm a little bit hesitant to talk about it because we're still working on it, as with everything else. But there will probably be a version of recovery or of a shattered hero that will allow you to make a big leap in their life. Let's just put it that way, and I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things that still need to be figured out, during the playtest, right? To see how this actually works, and then I think we teased it in the beginning where once the hero is dead, you can basically improve it and upgrade it, but to the extent that the hero will be upgraded, I think that's something still we want to keep sealed away a little bit.
Yeah, I think the main thing is that we want to keep it as a positive thing, and while it does sound bad that you can't use the hero all the time, we want to reward you for waiting in a way, and reward you specifically for playing a character for a longer time. So investing either your time or even currency into a character, we want that character to grow with you. Because for us, that is also part of having NFTs, right? If you invest time into a character and into an account in your Web2 game, there's no real benefit to it except you gain mastery, but there's no added value. But we want you to actually build a emotional connection, a monetarily connection, even to say that even when you're done with this hero, and you kind of don't want to play the game anymore, you want to switch to a different hero, the value that you accrued over time, the years that you invested into a character, the money that you spend, it's not completely lost.
I think it's also important to note that you can have multiple versions of one hero. So it's not like, Avi is dead and then you need to wait until your Avi is back. So don't be scared. You will be able, unfortunately, to play Avi. It's all good.
You don't like him?
Unfortunately.
No, Avi is great. Avi is generally I like him more than Kiara. From a gameplay standpoint, I don't like his smugness, but that's all right. Somebody needs to be smug.
Yeah, maybe just to add on to that, you will never be totally locked out of the game as well. So you will always be able to play if you want to, be it either with free echoes or free heroes, or in leagues that don't require a specific recovery. Let's just say that.
Maybe to round it up, Marintha, maybe you can just give us. We do have 2 different versions of the UI that we wanted to showcase.
Yeah,
maybe you can give us a little bit of insight.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this slide basically shows where I begin in my thinking, in my process. So I'll do a really quick mock-up of something where I think, okay, let's try tons and tons of different versions, and then I land on the one that you see on the left. And then for the recovery, I just thought, okay, it's something that, we actually need to figure out in the game. Some layouts might have changed. And then you see what's on the right. For the recovery specifically, there's a lot of information that's really, really important to show, but you really don't want to overcrowd an area. So it's thinking about what's the most important thing. We need to know very clearly that the hero is in recovery state. So having that little toast at the top, just saying that text. We probably need to start thinking about localization at some point, because recovering is a pretty long word. And then also having the timer and the skip button quite central. It's kind of the main grabbing point. And then the slide below will show what it looks like in the hero inventory. So this is the space where you can see all of the heroes that you own, not just the heroes that you'll take into the raid. And here it's also really important to see that key thing that's the recovery. And once you go inside, you can actually see all of the hero info, and from there skip the recovery if you want to. So yeah, that's the main thinking behind all of this, is just seeing what's the main important thing and how can we show it to the player as clearly as possible without wasting space.
It's always a challenge for UIA.
Always. Space is a big thing.
It's money.
I mean,
Space is your
especially on
currency,
mobile,
yeah.
right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's always an interesting thing when designing for mobile, because you do actually start with the smallest device. Always, you start with the least space that you have available. And through the years, I mean, I remember 10 years ago, my mobile phone was absolutely tiny. And now you're looking at mobile phones that are almost the size of a tablet. So it's thinking about designs that can actually fit for all of these devices and that they still look good for the player as well. Aesthetics is definitely something to keep in mind as well.
Nice. And I think this the updated UI here is the more recent version, right?
On the right?
Yes, this one. I think. Nice. Cool. Then maybe next up we talk about the defense log. So what is the defense log? What does it do?
Should I take this one?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So basically, one of the things we've been starting to do now, since we have real multiplayer, is you can get attacked by other players, right? So you have to display in the game who attacked you, if you won, if you lost, basically like a history of your combat adventures, right? And we've been working on implementing what Marinti has been working on in the game. There's also some under the scenes things that you want to hear, like if you're under attack and you try to log into the game, you have to show a pop-up. So there's some edge cases there as well to handle. But in this case, it's basically seeing your combat history, how much you lost, how many heroes they had, the level, like all this information. And if you want more into, you can explain more the UI UX about it.
Sure. Yeah, it's kind of a similar setup to the hero recovery, but I'll start making a design before outside of Unity, and then I'll just look at how much space we have, how much I can show. I think the defense log is one of those ones where we have to show a lot of info. It's a lot of text. So thinking of how can we use kind of groups, so groups of text that make the most sense to the player, that actually keep quite a lot of text looking quite simple and easy to digest and understand. So kind of like here, I was breaking down all of the different groups that we would need on the right-hand side, which gives a really good idea as well for when we're in Unity, what kind of prefab, like what kind of group setups we need to create. And then I kind of just went in and cleaned it up we realized that we didn't actually need to show as many stats as we had planned for. So then we managed to reduce the right-hand side and just show damage, trophies, and gold, which I am actually very happy about. It's nice to be able to reduce things and show less info than we have. Not too much.
Yeah,
kind of
also have a little
confusion
more
for the
space
player.
between the elements helped for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's really important. So yeah, that's kind of it. And it's also really important to see how can we utilize the space to show, your defense won versus your defense lost. If the player is just, without them needing to read all of the text, they can just take a quick look and they can see, oh, the top one, I lost that one because it's red. So it's a very clear two states, two things to differentiate.
Yeah, maybe to be clear, this is basically the minimal version of feedback that we give you, like in the playtest. So we plan on doing more, like better feedback, more detailed feedback, and maybe not in text form, but maybe different. But we'll have to see how well that goes, because while you can get information from a defense log or from a tag log, that information level is probably very superficial and won't help you a lot. While it does help you, it won't help you like maybe to the detail that you would like to understand what happened in the raid and how you got attacked and where your defense failed or where your defense held up really well.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're working on more things, of course.
I would say this is the foundations. This is the beginning.
Yeah.
We've got a few things already planned to kind of show the player a bit more info that doesn't necessarily have to go onto these elements.
And I think you also will be able to. I'm not sure if it's planned for this UI, but I think you will be also able to take revenge on the people that defeated you, right?
It's in there. It's in there, but the buttons are hidden.
Oh
there's
no!
There's more come.
Yeah, there's I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, there will be some sort of revenge and some sort of replay. So
yeah, but I think that's something for a little bit later.
Plans. Yeah, definitely.
I like that the buttons are already in there.
The buttons are there. Yeah.
So most important question, the most important question of the whole entire day and week and month, is it defense with a C or S?
S, always S.
I'm in the C camp.
Oh no.
What? I don't know. I guess, I mean, I'm in the C camp considering I wrote it, but
Let's go.
I question myself.
C is British and S is American, right?
Yeah,
I think that's the way.
Cool.
Wait, C is British or C is which one?
I think it's British.
Okay, cool.
We need a bread in here.
We're too international.
It's just gonna be either like, oh no, we're just gonna do a community vote and then it's just either or.
I think we should just switch it up all the time. Just write it with S and C. Sometimes to make people really mad.
Oh no, or we just use a set and be completely unique. It's just defense.
Oh, cool. Yeah, defense.
Defense.
We should just do a poll. What do you prefer, C or S? Let the community decide.
Sure, why not?
Pick the language.
Cool. So we'll jump over to the roadmap real quick, and unless you guys want to cover anything else.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Nice. So just to go over the roadmap, we just updated it, and I'll just cover phase 4 and phase 5. Phase 4 is basically Q1 of this year. And we already kickstarted some community initiatives, and in the background, Shala has been working on a lot of the collaborations that you will see unfold within the next weeks and months, which is really, really exciting. And then just yesterday, we launched our creator program. So if you have not checked it out yet, it's on the announcement. And basically what we want to do with the creator program is really to encourage and empower the creators, be it, small to mid-size or even larger creators, to really create content, but also get access to the game and then get also benefits. Because for us, it's really important that, if people invest time in creating content, I think that needs to be rewarded. And I think that program is really great to do that. But it's only actually open for a limited time. So the application will close on Friday. So if you know anyone who you think would be great to join, just let them know as well. And we already have some really, really bigger names signed up. So there will be probably some announcements later this week, which we're super excited about. But it's really a nice segue into the next things we're doing. And so as the guys mentioned, we'll have in phase 4 the PvP system implemented. So until the pre-alpha, we had created the bases basically that we were attacking ourselves. And now basically the system will allow that you can attack actually other people's bases. And for that, of course, we need the base builder feature as well that just went into the game a couple of weeks ago. And the Hotswapping feature is also already in the game, which we showcased today, as well as the hero and the upgrade system for the base. Super exciting. Next month, we are actually going to show off the next hero, so stay tuned for that. We've not shown them yet in any way, or tried to avoid as much as possible. But it's going to be very exciting. It's a completely different thing to what you've played until now. So probably actually my personal favorite one as well for now. And we will have, there's like some dispute maybe. Oh no. And then we are adding also 2 new monster units. One we've showed already the last time, which is going to be the bear. And the other one is still gonna be a small secret. And yeah, also next month, we are super excited. We will be doing our first closed playtest. There will be an announcement in March about that playtest and how you will be able to participate. Don't confuse it with the alpha. The closed playtest will be much shorter, and it will be much less people than in the big alpha. So it's going to be just a small amount of selected people to give really concise and pretty cohesive feedback, I would say. For us, those playtests, they're really important to make sure that we go into the alpha polished enough, with we just need to test basically what we've been adding so far, so that in the alpha there are no bad things happening basically, and you all can enjoy the alpha as much as possible. But yeah, so that's the plans for Q1. Going into Q2, it's not something we are going to showcase yet, but I know that Marintha has been working quite substantially on the website update, which is super exciting. We actually had a meeting today, and I think it goes into a really nice direction. We are also planning to do a faction update, but we're not going to unveil that yet, so stay tuned. There will be some really exciting things happening for the factions. We're gonna add more hero talents. As we mentioned earlier, I think the talent upgrade system is really, really nice. It lets you really build very different heroes and very different setups. And for that, we are also adding the reset feature, basically that you can reset the talents and test out different builds, so you're not hard locked into one specific set of talents for a hero. Then we add the player progression, which just allows you to have a global account system that levels up with you. And then also the leaderboards that are super important. Because the last time, if you remember, or if you have not participated yet in the last pre-alpha, we did a tournament, but we didn't have any leaderboards in the game. And then with phase 5, we will have finally the leaderboards in the game. So there's no need for any Google Sheets or something like that in the future. So that's really exciting, especially for me, who doesn't have to update them anymore. Yay. And yeah, then we'll have our first mint in phase 5 as well. We've not talked about it yet because it's going to be a huge surprise and a huge thing for us. So I know that the guys have been working a lot on that, but unfortunately, we are not really eager to share it yet. We don't want to spoil that. We've also been working on the alpha playtest quite a bit, and that will pretty much round up phase 5. We'll also do, again, competitions and then reveal Pixion League. So pretty much stacked in phase 4 and phase 5. I know we've been sweating a lot to get things done. But yeah, and then lastly, of course, just as a reminder, if you want to participate in the content creator program, I'm not going to cover it in huge detail, but if you want to, just go to the announcement and check it out. And maybe it's something for you or your friends. And of course, we're going to build that creator program over the next years. So it's only the beginning. And there will be some other projects and community programs as well in the future that you can participate in. But yeah, that was it. So pretty quick. If anyone has any questions, I think maybe now is the best time to just post them in the channel, the text channel on the side. Otherwise, we are gonna close our town hall. So maybe anyone.
Is a question, I think.
Yeah.
Was
So
it no?
Luke Skywalker is asking, will you be able to be attacked while you are online? So as you can imagine, with a asynchronous game, we have to make sure that while you are, for example, building things, your resources are not getting like snatched away so that you suddenly can't build anymore, that you build something and the attacker that selected your base because they thought it would be full of resources suddenly is standing in front of an empty base. We have to add some restrictive measures there. For now, we have also plans to do things a little bit different in the future, because there's some games that do it really well and that handle that really well. But for now, you won't be able to be attacked while you're online. Obviously, this kind of poses the question of, hey, why don't I just abuse it and stay online forever by not closing my account or whatever? We will have also measures around that to stop that from happening. Not going into detail because it's not super set, but yeah, there's currently you won't be able to be attacked, or people won't be able to steal resources, but in the future there's probably a different way we will handle it. I hope that kind of satisfies the question. Yeah, no worries.
Nice. Cool. So anyone has any other questions? Can ask pretty much everything.
Yeah, also always feel free to just post in the ask us anything, and then we'll answer there as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Perfect. Cool. Then if we don't have any other questions, then I thank everyone for joining the town hall. We will, of course, release a VOD within the next 2 days. So if anyone has missed it, we will be able to get hold of it. But yeah, thank you for joining. It was a pleasure as always. And then until the next town hall.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Catch you later.
Yep.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.